whatever, I'm not good at this. It's me. It's RDS, and today I wanted to talk about into Division 2, and more specifically my opinion on it, because frankly I am quite both excited and worried, so to speak, at the same time, due to just the general lack of news. Since Gamescom in particular. I mean, yes, PAX West did show off the map a bit, but that was not exactly stuff we didn't know yet. And then, meanwhile, already in 2019, Division 2 is supposed to launch in around 2.5 months, and still there's nothing. However, enough about that rambling. This is mainly me trying to explain and why I am cautiously excited, so let's get right to do that. So, obviously, I've played the first game quite a lot. I know generally all the opinions about it. You know, the good ones, the bad ones, see some in-between ones of people who say that the gameplay itself was good, but that there were a lot of things left to be desired, which, you know, frankly, was quite true for a lot of people. I mean, and, well, the early save of the game was bad. There's just no way around it. I mean, endgame was pretty much non-existent at launch, and enemy scaling was horrible. I mean, remember level 35 shotgunners? Just, well, those things still give me nightmares. Activities available, you know, being quite boring if you were to just grind for the same thing. Grind for some particular thing, and it's just this endless loop of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again until you finally got what you wanted. And it's, you know, just tip of the iceberg. And it got so bad with patch 1.3, which also brought the Underground DLC. Massive Entertainment eventually decided we are going to delay both Survival and Last Stand, which were the two other paid DLC packs, in favor of, you know, starting to fix the game. So a selection of people got flown to Massive's headquarters in Malmö, Sweden, so they could just sit down in some kind of round table with the developers and really get to the root of those issues, so that developers could fix them as good as they could. And as still known as the Elite Task Force, or ETF for short, and Massive also commemorated the members of the ETF by making an in-game mural outside of the base of operations, but that will not be shown in this gameplay. Just playing in the background, so if you want to look that up, it's not that hard to find. So, anyway, back on track. The ETF got extended. That before the Last Stand launch, more people got flown to, well, this time not Malmö, but to the home of Red Storm Entertainment, and for a summit which was specifically aimed at the Dark Zone. So then year 2 came along, and a Massive added 2 free updates. The first one was, you know, global events, which just are time limited spins on the usual game world. Is modifiers like headshot kills increase headshot damage for a short time, or damage is massively increased when in close quarters. With this, and then there are also some special modifiers attached to it for certain missions. And then second update brought a lot more. Resistance, or patch 1.8 was it brought a lot of good things. It made the game complete, as some people might say. There's a new horde mode. Sorry. There was resistance. There was some overhauls. One of the more unpopular changes from the global events patch got rolled back, like, in order to encourage more build diversity. All gear sets finally had the classified varieties, and it seemed like a decent point to build up further on. However, no, that wasn't really the case. So instead of really any further on the first decision, Massive and Ubisoft, they decided that earlier than the release of patch 1.8 that they want to right a lot of the wrongs they committed at the start of Division 1 by announcing Division 2. And but I said I would still bring out a couple of minor updates to the first division, which included 2 new global event modifiers. There's ironing out some annoying bugs, plus nerfing a rough meta set in the Dark Zone specifically, which oddly enough does for both decently well for the Division 2, and that Massive would be able to balance PvP and PvE separately. Besides all those things, focusing on the core gameplay, shields were introduced, which are just, in short, they're special achievements, so to speak, and these shields can be used to unlock vanity rewards in the Division 2 when it launches. And as of recording, there are 11 shields live, with the 12 set to arrive early February. However, for enough looking back at the Division 1, now I specifically want to talk about what is going to change from Division 1 to Division 2. So based on player feedback, Massive did overhaul a lot of the systems. Systems such as, movements, the mod system, signature skills, and general weapon balance. So for instance, in Division 2, Whoops. It was shown off that movement itself is a lot heavier, partially due to agents packing more. Packing more on their back, and unlike Division 1, whereas signature skills, the signatures things of Division 2 are weapons, so that weapon weight is part of a universe explanation as to why movement feels a bit more heavy in Division 2 compared to Division 1, and that heavier movement also means that there's a lot less chicken dancing possible. Well, no chicken dancing possible at all remains to be seen, but definitely a lot less compared to the first. Here's mods are another system they overhauled, and something I particularly like, because it's no longer grinding for the perfect mods, whether it be just farming them in the open world or just getting all the crafting materials to roll endless amount of mods. Instead, they're single unlocks. You can put them on any weapon you wish. However, each mod also comes with a clear negative, and for instance, extended magazines are now just a fixed number of rounds extra instead of the rather ridiculous plus 121% we see now. So, sorry about that. I'm not exactly feeling spry right now, so that explains why I was sneezing a little bit earlier in this video. So, and going back to heavier movements, I said one of the reasons was signature weapons instead of signature skills, and that is also one of the things I quite like. Instead of having this press button to win thing going on, the signature weapons itself are a lot more reliant on player skill to be effective, especially the 50 cal sniper. Where and on the more PvE side of things, the revamped AI is also something I can really get behind, because, well, Division 1, a lot of bullet sponging is going on because the AI isn't all that smart most of the time. However, Division 2 Massive has sought to make the AI a lot smarter and use that to make combat difficult, instead of them just being random red bar being able to soak up tons of bullets. That's what, well, these are just some of the many changes just coming to Division 2. However, I am not really going to go over all of them, because there are other videos that do this a lot better than I can do right now, and it's not the focus of this current video. I'm just highlighting this in order to make more points as to why I'm quite excited for it. However, there's one major thing. There is a lot we just don't know about Division 2 yet. I mean, Massive has been awfully quiet so far. Part of it is because of Ubisoft Communications team enforced NDA, if I read the recent tweets from Julian Garrity correct. It's sorry if I got a little bit too far ahead of myself. Julian Garrity is the creative director on the Division 2. So, but with launch coming ever closer, and especially direct competitor for the genre, Anthem releasing next month, February 22nd, and that game is showing off a lot more stuff than Division does. It does. You cannot really help but think some things are going on with Division 2, and it is up to Massive to prove us wrong and show that they really have something special in store. On the other hand, you could also say that the reason Massive and Ubisoft in general are so quiet about Division 2 is because Division 1 did show off a lot more. But on the other hand, what was shown off for Division 1 did set a really harsh precedent, which led to a lot of failed expectations and quite the buzzkill at launch in terms of what was expected versus what was actually there. So, when viewed at that, you could think the tight-lippedness of Massive and Ubisoft is just a deliberate choice, is to keep their mouth shut until they're really ready to show that it's not just all talk, but that they're really make good on the promises they made at E3 and to a lesser extent at Gamescom, that they're ready to show we've learned from our mistakes, and this is it. The game is in your hands, and we'll build further on this. Now, I'm just going to wrap up this video, just shortly summarize where that leaves you personally, because I did enjoy Division 1 quite a lot, especially with friends. It's still one of the better games I've played, and I did get annoyed by a lot of things as well during the first few months of the game, and Massive has been working hard to it fixed a lot of the issues. Some things are still not fixed and probably never will because of the second game's impending launch. But in its current state, Division 1 is, in my opinion, a good tactical looter shooter. And this point is what has me quite excited for the sequel, paired with the changes from Division 1 to Division 2 Massive has already shown. And however, it is, as always, it is hard to ignore the launch state of Division 1 and the scarcity of info ever since Gamescom 2018. And yes, there has been a technical alpha, and on one hand it doesn't do too much for governance. On the other hand, it is perfectly understandable that Ubisoft would not want anything leaked from it until they're ready to show it off. I mean, you could also say that having a technical alpha means that the game is quote unquote ready in some way. And I do perfectly understand why Ubisoft doesn't want anything to go out there before they want it to go out there. All in all, there's things to be excited and worried about at the same time, and, well, frankly, time will tell. Time will tell whether Division 2 will, be follow up in the same footsteps of its predecessor, or if it's one of the first looter shooters. Actually, come to think of it, the first looter shooter to genuinely learn from the mistakes of the first game. And well, that is pretty much all I have for now. So I'm just going to call it here. Because frankly, I have been rambling about for too long. So if you enjoyed this, then I would appreciate if you clicking the subscribe button to get more videos in the future. I do not exactly know about what they're going to be, but they're going to be there. That's pretty much it. And yes, if you've sat through all of this, then I would definitely have to commend you on your perseverance. So, thanks for watching, I guess. Goodbye.